Hi, welcome to HorseBettingDirect.com. Our goal is to make it easier for you to make money at the track. Behind me is one of our pick sheets. The goal of this video is to show you how to read it quickly, easily, so you can make more money at the track.
Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. So today we're going to do a quick overview of how to read an HBD sheet. For more information and deeper understanding about what it is we do and the different terminology we use on our sheets, feel free to check out our website and the How to Read an HBD Sheet section. But for now, let's go ahead and take a look at this sheet. You'll notice in the top left-hand corner of all of our sheets, you'll see the basic race information. The track name, the race number, the distance, and the surface type that the race is being ran on. So for instance, this one, Emerald Downs, we got race 8, 5.5 furlong, ran on dirt. Basic race information you need to know to make the right bet. Right next to that, you'll see the race pace type. Now, if you're not a pace handicapper, don't freak out. This is not as crazy as it looks. But right now, we rate this pace as a triple E, triple P, double S race. All that means is there are 3 or more early pace horses, there are 3 or more middle pace horses, and there are 2 late pace horses in this example. Now, we use this information to create a pace model, an outlook of what the pace may look like for this race. If you combine that pace model with the curing average that you see right below that, and what that is that's the average curing rating of the early pace horses, how fast and how hard of a fight is it going to be early in the race, and those two things help us determine where the projected winner may come from. Right next to that, you see the historical data of 100% as an A. And that's a grade just like you used to get in school. But what it indicates is how much data we have on this current race. This example, we have 100% of our data, which means we have enough data on every horse in this race to run our full calculations for the race. Now, sometimes when a race includes a first-time starter or a horse that hasn't ran in a while, any other kind of factors that limit the historical data we get creates lower grades that you'll see on some of the other races. So for instance, a race that includes 4 or 5 first-time starters, you might see a historical data rating of a D or even an E or even an incomplete, which means we really don't have a lot of data and we're doing some guessing to fill in those holes. Now right below that, you'll notice the projected winning pace. Now the projected winning pace is a combination of a whole bunch of different things, including the race pace type and the curing averages that we talked about earlier. But basically what you're going to see here is either the words early or the word late. And that just shows where the winner is more likely to come from in relationship to the rest of the field. Now if we go all the way back over to the left, you're going to see our top 4 picks. Now our top 4 picks use a couple of different symbols. You'll see this greater than symbol right here between the 1 and the 5. And what that indicates is a large drop-off in terms of a tier for this race. So right now, this race is the 1 greater than 584, which means we really like the 1 with the 584 to follow. Some races, you'll see that greater than sign after the 2nd horse, maybe after the 3rd horse, maybe after the 4th horse. And that just indicates where the big drop-offs occur between the scores, the HBD ratings, that you'll see here in a second. Now, at the very top of the middle of the page, there's 4 different buttons that can appear. This example, you'll see the exacta experiment button appear. Now, these 4 angles are proven positive return angles that we have found using our sheets. With our systems, we're able to run hundreds of races every single day. Now, when we're running that many, we don't have, as a handicapper, you don't have time to look at every single one of those. We put these up here to show you when there's a positive play angle on a race. And you can see more about those in our videos on our HBD angles section on our website. The date of the race is right next door, and the most added is 5, and we'll talk about the added here in a second. You have our top 4 picks along with their HBD ratings there in the middle, and a nice bar graph to kind of show you how the horses rate in relation to one another. If we scroll down to the middle section of the page here, you'll notice that the horses are in order of the way we like them. So, for instance, in this race, the 1 is our top horse, followed by the 5, the 8, the 4, the 6, 7, 2, 3. Now, why this is important is in this real life example, the 4-horse AAK Racer actually scratched from the race. Now, using that information, knowing that we have an exacta experiment live, and we're going to play the exacta using our greater than sign of the 1 over the 584, knowing the 4 is a scratch, we can look at this section here and know the next horse in line is actually the 6, emancipated. So we would actually play the 1 over the 586, thanks to the scratch of the 4. So the horses in this section are in order of preference by HBD rating. If we go across to the right, you'll see the morning line odds as listed by the program. You'll see the pace of the pace type of the horse. So number 1 is an EP horse, early presser. The 5 is an early pace horse, and the S or the 7 down here is a stalker. You can get more information about those different symbols on our website. Now, right next door, you'll see the HBD E2 rate and the HBD late rate. What this is we cut the race into 2 different sections. The E2 rate covers the first 3/4 of the race, and the late rate covers the last 1/4 of the race. What this does is it breaks down the relations between the horses in the race and shows their advantage or disadvantage against the average horse in this race. What we do differently is we look at the race as opposed to the history. So for instance, number 1, My Man's Known Lady, has a 9.6 positive advantage over the average horse in this 8-horse field. Now, the perfectly average horse doesn't actually exist in real life, but if you took the average horse of this field, how would they rate in this race? Now, in the exact opposite, number 3, Win Photos Will D, is a negative number, which means he has an expected disadvantage against that same average horse in the race. Those 2 columns combined create us an HBD speed figure number. It's a little bit different than other speed figure numbers, as it uses the same value of what are the examples of this horse against the other horses in this race. The other section, right next door, HBD added, is a measurement of the intangibles that that horse and those connections, trainer, jockey, have in this race. You'll notice that every column is highlighted with the top number. The highest number is always highlighted in each column, which means the best added right here is the 5. The added number is a combination of a bunch of different information, everything from the jockey's familiarity with the horse, the jockey's familiarity with the trainer's success in short 5.5 furlong, 1-turn races, the track conditions, everything goes in to this HBD added, and it's added to the HBD speed number to give you the total HBD rating. Think of the HBD rating as kind of the horse's final score in the race. And this is the overall number that we use to produce our pick and our ratings. If we scroll down to the bottom section of our sheets, you'll notice that this time the horses are in numerical order of their post numbers. So they're back into the order that you'll probably see them on the program while you're at the track. Again, you have the horse name, but with this, what we've also added in this section is a trend line. You'll see an arrow up next to the number 2, humongous, and that simply means that the horse is trending forward, that the last 2 or 3 races have trended up and the horse is getting better, so to say. The same thing, the number 4 horse, which again actually scratched, was trending downward, meaning he was going the wrong direction. He was getting worse in the last couple of races. The next column is a light gray column, and that's simply the number of days since the last race. And you can see that this is actually opening night at Emerald Downs, so a number of these horses haven't raced in a while. Going to the right again, you'll see some helpful information. The E1 value is the first quarter of the race, and it just shows you where some of the horses might be in the early parts of the race. The Kieran speed is something that we've grown to really use here at HBD, but the Kieran speed is a measurement of how fast the horse breaks from the gate. Kind of think of it as the horse's acceleration. The horses need to be towards the front. And this is on a scale of 0 to 8. 0 meaning the gate's going to open, I'm going to trot out kind of lazily, hang out in the back of the pack. And an 8 meaning as soon as that gate opens, I'm going full speed as fast as I can. You'll see the jockey value. The jockey value is a combination of things. everything from the jockey's previous mounts to how the jockey does in similar race conditions. The trainer value right next door, the same idea. The win recently, this is a measurement of the recent wins and the quality of those wins. All wins aren't created equal. A win over a ugly field or a soft field is not as impressive as a win over a strong field, and so that number takes into account recent wins and the quality of those wins. And this next section right here, the strong finish, is one of the most important sections that I use in my own handicapping. And what this measures is this measures the connection's willingness to fight for the back ends of exotics. We've all been to the track and placed that winning exacta bet only to see a horse win by 15 lengths and to see half the other field give up and not finish strong. And then here comes that 99-to-1 shot. Fighting is the only horse fighting for second place, jumps up and grabs second and beats your exacta. This is a measurement of how those horses fight if the race is kind of over, or how they fight for that second, third, even fourth positions. The last column here is the E%, and this is a measurement of how they use their energy. The higher the number, the more energy is used in the first part of the race. The lower the number, the more energy is used in the end of the race. And then the last section here is just the race information that you'll see in your programs about the race. Now again, this was a quick overview of how to use our sheets. For more information, check out our website, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and we'll go ahead and answer any questions you might have. Thanks for watching.